Hi there, this is Linda and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. In today's video, I'm putting together my Project Life spread for January 12th through January 19th, 2026, and I'm working with the Inklings Collection from Cocoa Daisy. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, so for this spread, I am working with the Inklings Collection from Cocoa Daisy, which is for February 2026, but I'm going to use it in the spread in January, and I will probably use it again in a spread in February, but that's okay. It's just such a cute collection. I'm totally happy to use it more than once. So this photo is actually for the next week. I'm just going to organize my photos here. Not a ton is going on right now. We are getting ready for vacation. This needs to be trimmed a little better. So it's also winter, super cold where I live and snowy, and it's not a time to be outside. So other than our sunrises are absolutely incredible this time of year. Now this one needs to be trimmed too. So I'm also super busy because it's leading up to our vacation that we're going on in the end of January, beginning of February. I think I need to change my blade on my trimmer. It's just not doing the best job here. I'll probably do that after I finish this layout. So I'm just going to trim with my scissors. But not a lot's going on right now. So we're prepping for vacation. I've been working a lot, creating a lot of content, crafting, journaling, and just staying in and avoiding the cold. This week I did get a haircut, my hair re-dyed, so I have that picture. And then this is the spread, or this week in my take a note. You can tell I'm not taking a ton of photos when my photos in here are all of my photos on there. If I have a lot of photos, I will often use different photos, but this week, really everything pretty much ended up in here, not that one. But this is the 12th through the 19th. So it's this full week, plus I'm adding this one Monday because the following week is going to, or the following spread is going to be the 20th through when we leave for vacation, which is through the next Tuesday. So I have this to kind of see all of what's going on to reference for putting together my spread. I'm actually going to put that off camera. And then I'm going to work with this Inklings collection. So this collection is probably my favorite ever from Cocoa Daisy. I love it so much. I also made such a huge mess of the kit in here. I always just kind of throw everything all over the place. So just trying to shift it around a little bit. I think I have all the 3x4 cards here. There's 4x6 cards. And I think that's, oh, here's another 3x4 card. There's some more stuff. This is pattern paper. Here's a 4x6 card. Okay, here we go. I've got my cards ready. I'm gonna go through and kind of see what I want to include. Because this is the February kit, there are a few things that are February themed, but a lot of them, like this one, but I just love this. So I think I'm going to use that as a filler card. I also really like this one, and that one probably works really well for the fact that it is January. I'm not sure why there was a one in the February kit, but it definitely works for what I'm doing. It's fountain pen inks. I think this would also be a really good one for this spread. Like I said, I don't have a ton of stories, so just having some little fun like prompts like that. This card is so cute. Not sure if I have a reason for it, but also so cute. Here's a February one, so I'm going to save that for my February spread because that is a gorgeous, gorgeous card. This one has February on this side. I also really love that pattern, so I'm not sure which one I will use. These pencils are very cute. But I do need more journaling cards. Very cute. I like that one. I just love like all of these cards, but there's a lot of filler cards and I don't really need that many filler cards. So I'm just kind of gonna put them as options, or like this camera, like that's just so cute, but I could put that as my title card. I love this one too. Okay, so this is a great journaling card, so I'm gonna use that to journal. I need to figure out what stories I wanna tell. So let's see, I had some appointments this week. I had a dentist appointment, I had a hair appointment, I did a lot of crafting, a lot of work. We had MLK Day off. Some disappointing moments, some just ordinary moments. I think I can do just like an overview there and then maybe a bullet point list in this card. And then I don't really have anything else I need to journal about, so I could just put all these filler cards. The problem is I always feel like when I do that, I don't know, it just feels like too much. So let me think about other things I could do. Let's see, we also have these 4x6 cards. Oh, that is so cute. Also adorable. And that one is just so good. I'm gonna have no problem doing a second spread from this kit. I'm not sure though. What I want to do yet for this layout on this side. So I think I like this for some current favorites. This can be an overview of the week. I like that one as a filler. I want something else there. I love this card, but I feel like it's too much for this side. So we do have pattern papers. That one's super cute. Make a good journaling card, but the word is too big, so if I cut it, it wouldn't show the whole word. I could cut it and just use this side and save the word portion. I love this pattern. Yeah, so I could do that if I needed more journaling. That would make a really good journaling card. So that's something to keep in mind. There's just so many stickers and things I want to use in this kit. There's a lot of chipboard that's really cute. I think what I'm gonna do, so I have like the right number of card. Well, no, I'm even short a card here. So I could put one more. I just don't know if I need more. Well, let's see. I did finish reading a book that I absolutely loved, which is gonna be like it will almost definitely be my favorite of this year. So maybe I will put that, but I don't actually want it next to this picture because it looks like I'm reviewing that book. And that will give me another like journaling thing, although I do really like that card too. But I think that is a good starting place. I think I might have too many filler cards here, but I'm going to maybe find a way to make them a little more personalized or bring in some of the other pieces from the kit. So I think this is going to be a good starting place. I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on voiceover so I can like tinker around with this and figure out kind of exactly what I want where and just start putting the spread together. Oftentimes when it's like this, when I'm like, I'm not sure about certain pockets, what helps is to start filling the ones I am sure about and then see how it slowly comes together. So all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on voiceover and get this one put together. Okay, so as usual, I'm going to start with my title card. I tend to just do my rolling date stamp on here, and I do end up adding an enamel dot between the two dates, but most of the time, all I do is add the date stamp onto my title card. Some people do their project life weekly, and I guess I just wanted to talk a little bit about my format because it's towards the beginning of the year, and I know that
every year there are some people who are new to this project. So I do my spreads what I call modified weekly, which means that my spread covers a range of dates that is generally about a week, but not a strict week at all times. Sometimes they're longer, sometimes they're shorter, and I usually adjust them just because of what's going on in my life, often travel. And so I don't label them week 1, week 2, or anything like that. I used to do that in 2013 when I first started this project. And I found it was very restrictive because some weeks I would have no photos I wanted to share, and other weeks I would have tons of photos. And it didn't flow the way I wanted it to. In 2014, I did Project Life monthly. And in 2015, I did what I called the go with the flow approach, which was essentially just adding things as they happened with no set dates on my spreads and no title cards. So I just basically kept adding. And when a spread was full, then I moved to the next one. And that was also kind of freeing, but it was difficult because I had to work in order because I didn't know how much space any stories would take up. This modified approach is what I've been doing since 2016, and it works so well for me. This is what I'm going to continue doing. And I wanted to clarify this because people are new to Project Life at the beginning of the year, and you might be new to my videos, but also because last year I was calling them weeks and I had so many confused comments. So I'm not calling them weeks anymore, although my spreads are typically a week long. Anyways, back to what I'm actually working on. So for this favorites card, what I wanted to do was highlight 3 favorites from the week. And so I'm going to use that little mini stamp set that I have. And I picked that up from a local shop called Zaka Joy. And it's just a cute little rubber or stamp on wooden stamp set. And I'm going to use it to stamp some titles of 3 things that are favorites from this week. On this review card, I'm writing a review of the Book of Lost Hours, which is a book that I finished reading during this week, and it is a 5-star and probably one of my favorite books ever now. It's definitely up there, and I highly recommend, if you haven't read it, to check that book out. So back to my favorites card, what I end up stamping here is our heated mattress pad, tea and chats, and journal time, because these were kind of like the 3 things that were saving me this week. This was a stressful, busy week leading up to travel, and I had so much going on at work and so much going on at home just to get stuff done before we traveled. So these were like the 3 things that were kind of like how I was unwinding and enjoying my week. And I liked this opportunity to have this prompted journaling because this is a story I might not otherwise have told, or I might not have framed through this lens. And I'm really happy that I did. When working in Project Life, that is something I'm often thinking of and often doing with my journaling, is using a prompted journaling card or using some sort of lens to tell my story, as opposed to just writing, this is what happened on Monday and this is what happened on Tuesday. I will find these specific lenses either through prompted journaling cards or products, or sometimes I'll just come up with them. And I find that it makes putting the spread together way more fun. And I think it makes a more interesting story when you look back on your spreads. As someone who's been doing this project for over a decade, and I don't have that exciting of a life, most of my weeks it's me drinking coffee and journaling and going to work, and that's about it. I still find that this project is rewarding and exciting and lets me celebrate those small moments of life. And I think part of that is finding those different lenses to frame my story. I'm going through all of the stickers and various embellishments that I have from this kit. You can see I've already used quite a few things. I've done a few journal spreads and I did some scrapbook layouts using this kit already. And I'm going to do another Project Life spread after this one at some point in February, because this is just such a cute kit. It is so up my alley, and I want to use all of the products on everything. But I also want to hoard all the products, and I can't. So this photo here is a new journal kit that I got from Everyday Explorers, which I thought worked really well with the theme of this kit. So this Inklings kit is themed around journaling and crafting, which is obviously right up my alley. And it was a good theme for this week because it is winter and it's super cold where I live. So I'm not really spending much time outdoors or doing other things. I'm pretty much going to work, prepping for vacation, and crafting. So I was able to use this kit to kind of frame my stories from the lens of crafting, which I think was super fun and allowed me to print a few more photos of my journal and my craft stuff that I maybe otherwise would have. I also didn't have many photos this week, so it was really nice to have that specific prompt to kind of give me permission to print some of those journal photos that I took for Instagram during the week. On this documented card here, what I'm going to do is use the enamel dots to create bullet points. And I'm going to make a bullet point list of various things that happened during the week. So I'm writing out that I went to my dentist appointment, Verizon was down. These are basically just like facts from the week. On that number 1 card on the right hand side, you saw I did some journaling. And for that one, I'm just journaling an overview of the week and kind of what is going on right now and how I'm busy and working through the stress and how excited I am looking forward to vacation. Often when I do my journaling, I keep a bullet point list like this one on the spread to detail some of the facts of the week, especially because a lot of the facts from this week were not captured in the photos, like my dentist appointment, Verizon being down for a day. Stationery Fest tickets were on sale and I didn't get the ticket that I wanted. I was pretty disappointed. So that was a kind of a bummer, but there's no pictures related to that. So I thought that having a bullet point list was just a great way to tell that story without needing to go into too much detail. I'm slipping everything in the pockets as I go just to make it a little bit easier on my desk for things to kind of shift around. And on this right hand side, I'm just thinking a little bit about how I want everything to be. I end up having, 4 filler cards on the spread plus my title card, which is a lot of filler cards for me. I usually don't add that many, but this week I didn't have that many stories. I didn't have that many photos. This kit had so many filler cards that I loved and wanted to use, and I ended up feeling like it worked. So I'm going right now through the embellishments, but what I end up doing is decorating one of the filler cards, because what I end up deciding is that I don't know, I guess this is how I see it. If I take the filler card from the kit and just slip it in the pocket, it's super cute. Like that one that says there is beauty in the mess. Gorgeous card. Can slip it in the pocket, call it good. Don't need to do anything else. However, if I do that for a few of them, I guess I feel like my spread is not super personalized because that is a piece of a kit and I didn't create it. So what I do to make this a little more personalized is I'm going to add some embellishments onto my second filler card on this side of the spread. So there's really only that one that I didn't do anything to. And in my mind, that makes it just a little bit more personalized to me because no one else is going to have the exact same filler card that I do. And I know that doesn't really matter because I'm not looking at anyone else's albums when I'm flipping back through mine, but it just feels like there's more of a personal touch. For these 2 photos here, I adhered them together with some washi tape because they're going to fit in that 4x6 pocket. And then what I decided to do was add this label. It's like a little tag die cut that was in the scrapbook kit. And I'm just going to add a little bit of detail on there. I added a chipboard piece and then I end up journaling on there about how we had Martin Luther King Jr. Day off on Monday. And I just wanted to add that because I didn't add it on my bullet point list. And I feel like it provides a little bit of context to what was going on this week and why I had an extra 3-day weekend. The photos don't really have anything to do with that. The one of my journal in the snow, I actually did take that on Martin Luther King Day, but it doesn't really go with that story, but it was just a note that I wanted to add. On this photo of my new haircut, I wanted to just add something on it, so I added some washi and a little chipboard piece across the bottom, which I think just gives it a little bit of some decoration. And then here's the filler card that I'm going to end up decorating. So when you have a pattern card like this, it's pretty easy to personalize it. What I end up doing is just taking this die cut tag and adhering it down. And then I'm going to add one of the chipboard pieces right on top of it. I feel like I love the colors. I love how it comes together, but it also just, it just makes it a little bit more than just a filler card. I'm going to go ahead and slip everything into the pockets. And I think that this is going to wrap this spread up. When I'm finishing up my spread, I'm always going to look at everything and see if I want to change anything, add anything, move anything around. I'm looking for balance across my spread to make sure that everything kind of goes together and looks good. Sometimes when you lay it out before you add your words or decorations, it looks different. But I'm happy with how this one came out. Here's a look at that completed spread. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And as always, I hope to see you guys all in the next one. Bye.